I warn you, this part is rather...
Working people off the streets and kidnapping them.
People can just go missing without explanation. Not just Mitch McConnell. You had another member here that was just gone for 4 months and didn't tell anyone, no whereabouts, no transparency. I mean, this is it. I don't even know how this is legal. I really don't even know how this is legal. Things do happen. You know, people get into medical incidents in hospital, even in the hospital, but I do think that there should be some sort of, there's a line here, and almost everyone can agree it's been crossed. This is normal. This is not normal at all.
Very well said from AOC, pointing out that there is a very real problem with politicians clinging on to power, not letting go, and either dying in office or falling gravely ill for reasons, and then still clinging on to power. Senator Mitch McConnell's photo is taking advantage of the very same paid leave and sick leave that he has tried to veto other Americans from having for years and years and years. Working Americans who wanted paid leave, who wanted sick leave, the ability to still have a job, even if they're sick, have gotten that Republicans in power, and now Mitch McConnell is benefiting from it. Well, now we have some long-awaited updates about the status of Mitch McConnell after he fell unconscious in his DC home, was treated to the hospital, and then mysteriously disappeared 25 days. This is the only video we have of him being loaded in a stretcher while unconscious outside of his DC home, and now we have this photo of him. The long-awaited update is that Mitch McConnell did not suffer a heart attack or a stroke despite a 911 call mentioning cardiac arrest. He might be suffering from some form of dementia because he keeps continuously falling over, as I'll show you. He was unconscious, and they said he had a mild case of pneumonia, which at Mitch McConnell's age, I'm not really sure that exists. A mild case of pneumonia is just bad pneumonia. It is scary when you're this age. Listen to Mia on TikTok.
Did you notice something odd about this Mitch McConnell pic? Holding a newspaper there, like a hostage, in a proof of life photo. A sitting United States senator released a hostage-like photo with a newspaper. By the way, that is the Sunday edition of the Washington Post sports section. I was able to verify. Under his, people are claiming, you know, is real or not. I'm suspicious that a man who's been in the hospital for, I don't know, a month for allegedly no reason, because according to his office, doctors have run every test in the book and they don't know what caused him to fall. He has no sighting there in jeans and a button-up shirt, but really, that man who was taken into the hospital on June 14th, it is now July 12th, he's being moved from the hospital to a rehabilitation center, gaining his strength. And that doctors have run, quote, every test they can think of, trying to determine what caused the incident. Which honestly, I see what they're trying to do here by releasing that photo. But this statement and that photo and the hostage type staging of it isn't narrative. Even Republicans on Twitter, and yes, I'm still calling it Twitter, and I'm there so you don't have to be, are calling, is it not? I don't know.
I want to remind you what Trump said when he heard McConnell. He said, not as cool.
A couple more quick things. We want to respect your time. Did you video or the picture, I say, of Mitch McConnell this weekend? And what do you think of his outlook? What are you hearing?
Well, not much. I was, never a huge fan, but he's one of the people he should be voting for because he's loyal to him. Whether you like John Thune was very loyal to Mitch McConnell, and Mitch McConnell's no vote on Save America Act, which is, basically, you think about it, voter ID, it's proof of citizenship, and there's no mail-in ballots except for the military disabled, sick, or if you're sick, or heavily, and which is generous. Right?
This guy is insane. He's insane, and Mitch McConnell's been one of his strongest warriors for a while. Let me remind you, Senator Mitch McConnell has been known to fall over and freeze multiple times.
My name is Star. I want to ask, do you support ICE taking working people off the streets and
I warn you, this part is rather hard to watch.
Off the streets and kidnapping them?
Damn. Damn, for real. Damn. Damn. That's fucked up, man. Why
Something
people
quite
laughing?
interesting is that Mitch McConnell asked about ICE in this clip from about a year back. He was being asked by an activist in the Sunrise Movement how he feels about some of these kidnappings with no due process, driving people around for hours, and it has only gotten worse since then. So he's trying to brush that off before he falls. And listen, I'll always have empathy. I have older family. I'm never gonna, like when somebody gets hurt, it's inappropriate for me to do that. But this person is walking past, Mitch McConnell is walking past, trying to ignore the questions about the masked thugs that he is helping fund so they can violate our constitutional rights. This should piss off every American.
For re-election in 2026.
Look, watch this.
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 20...
This happens time and time again. This happened in 2023. There is a systematic underrepresentation of young people in politics. And this doesn't have to be young versus old. It's not generation versus generation. But there are people who create the incentives for themselves to cling on to power till the very last moment, have the people around them run it for them, while young people are still left behind. I want to finish this interview with Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear that I didn't finish earlier in the video I made earlier today. Check this out.
Not just in
Britt, I'm curious what you think of the photo. Have you been able to get it verified? Is it real? What do you know about it?
So before I posted, I sent a letter, an official letter, asking for an update, or at least asking him to update the people of Kentucky. Our office has received nothing. Nothing in response, no email, no call, no written letter, but they did put out the statement. And the reason I think that there's all this rampant speculation out there is, again, he hasn't called into anything. There's no video in an age of social media saying, hey, everybody, I'm okay, and I'm going to be able to get back to my job. Just some really basic things that I think any of the rest of us, not just in government and politics, but in the media and other places would do. But I think it especially hits people because maybe some people have been in office so long they no longer think that they work for someone, and they do. They work for the people.
In his statement on Sunday, Senator McConnell wrote, "Part of my decision to retire at the end of my term this coming January was being honest about the demands of Senate work. But I still have unfinished business to complete on your behalf, and I have every intention of finishing the job you elected me to do." Having said that, do you believe he can effectively continue to serve the people of Kentucky through January?
Well, he needs to show us that he can. And there's only the speculation that he can't because a whole month went by of him in the hospital with absolutely no official statement, nothing that was put out there. Sadly, this is internet and other speculation of his own making. In the position to stop it. And all it is being honest and transparent with the people, which he needs to do.
Well, clearly he's, his office, his staff, they're stonewalling you. And has no one on your staff talked to no one on Mitch McConnell's staff? I imagine that they've tried to reach out, right?
We haven't had that direct communication. And up until a point, I was trying to be respectful of a person's privacy about their health care. I get that. And he did put something in a statement that's true. That generation, which is my dad's generation, is a little more private about their health. But he's not in a position right now where he can be. And I don't say that intending to lack feeling. I grew up knowing one of his daughters who was and is a good person. I don't want them to have a loss that she and her family have to feel, but the people of Kentucky who I serve just deserve to know that he can finish out this term, and it's in his hands to do that.
And I'm sorry, I know you answered this question, but do you think that photo was doctored, or it's real, or what do you think of that photo?
I don't have any way of knowing anything more than anyone else. They did put out a pretty long statement. It does sound like Senator McConnell. But again, the idea that statement basically suggests he's alive, which is good, doesn't answer the question of capacity to do the job, which we all have to prove on a day-to-day basis.
Yep, and I want to remind you that earlier in the interview, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear says multiple agencies reached out to him thinking that McConnell was dead.
There are constituents which deserve
Wow.
honesty and transparency. It had been a month before anything had been put out, not even an official statement from Senator McConnell. In fact, I'd gotten 2 calls from
Listen to
different
that, y'all.
agencies, not state agencies, suggesting he'd passed. So this rampant
OMG.
speculation that was out there,
It's of his own creation. Now, I just want to end this up by saying it's not generation versus generation. Mockler Media has a diverse audience, people of all ages, and we love every single person that wants to fight for democratic values. However, it feels like there is a clinging neocon generation that really wants to maintain power in the Republican Party, try to have staffers prop them up while they continue to bomb foreign countries, send our money to Israel rather than reinvesting it in the United States, and we need to be pushing for candidates who are just in touch. Bernie Sanders is in touch. We have older candidates who are in touch, but we need to keep fighting for a better future. Subscribe below if you want to join. Make sure you follow the Adam Mockler feed across all platforms. I love you all. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.
That's what's up. All right, y'all. We're going to end it there because